Okay, so now I'm ready for Lindisfarne, 327 miles away. And Silja, are you coming?
It's a no.
Again, it's a no. So Silja is gonna take a plane over to Lindisfarne, or to Edinburgh, and I'm gonna meet her there in next Saturday. So today is Thursday. So we're going to leave it at that, and let's go. See you soon.
I prepared Tessie for departure, but I had some slight second thoughts about the weather report. Winds were shifting in all directions and changing by the hour. Strong winds up to 30 knots was expected as I entered the open ocean, but was supposed to come down shortly after. The uncertainty of the reports made me worried, as I know how fast and predictable North Sea can turn around. Silja also got worried when she could tell I acted differently than usual. I felt a bit bad leaving her in a state of worry. But I had taken the choice to depart and was prepared for a bumpy ride the first hours offshore. I counted on the weather to take a turn for the better during the evening.
Now I'm passing the Viking farm here in, outside Haugesund. So you know this is the epicenter for the Viking era 1,000 years ago. So it's a good point to start on my voyage to Lindisfarne, where the Viking once rided. So I just want to experience the trip and the sail across the North Sea to see how it might have been in a slightly more modern boat. But it's 2025, so things develop. Now we're going south in the Kamsundet, southwards, and then we will head westwards when we get offshore. So that's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see what the King Neptune has to offer this time. I think it's going to be slightly challenging. Let's see.
To be prepared for the possible strong winds ahead, I made a staysail ready on deck as standby. Then it's quick to deploy if needed.
And the bowsprit is out, so I want to retract it. We're gonna have some waves against us.
With the bowsprit sticking out, the waves will smash up under it when going upwind, which again can rip it off its brackets. With all lines tight and secured, Tessie was ready for whatever was coming.
I managed to find a stainless steel hook to go with the camera here, so it's safe from falling.
Sailing through Kamsundet is a long stretch, but now we could spot the horizon of the open ocean.
So, we are getting close to the end of Karmøy over here. So that means we have to hoist our sail soon and set our course as much as we can towards Lindisfarne. But I think we're gonna head westwards because of the strong winds coming from south. So we'll take one step at a time and see how things develop. And I'm slightly nervous. You know, this is the worst place to be before everything happens. Your mind starts thinking weird thoughts about how bad it's going to be, or yeah, but you can't listen to those thoughts too much. You'll go crazy. So one step at a time. So first step is to dress up and get my clothes on and be ready. You feel better when you're properly dressed for the occasion.
We had now reached the end point and the ocean waves started washing in.
Alright, I think it's time to hoist the mainsail at least and find our way slowly westwards. Wind is about 50 knots now, so it's picking slowly up.
Hoisting the mainsail in rough waves hitting against the boat is a wobbly business. You just have to take your time and make sure to make everything secured on deck.
Let's tidy up the mainsail halyard. Get back in the cockpit. There we are. So let's head westwards now. Okay, I want to try that jib sail. So I'm gonna buckle up to go on the bow.
I wanted to make sure not to be overpowered if the wind got too strong. I chose to trust the incoming weather reports and rigged Tessie accordingly. Little did I know that the reports was far away from what was about to develop in the next hours. But what you don't know can't hurt you until it smacks you right in the face. Happily oblivious, I continued on westwards into the North Sea.
Got me soaking wet. But Tessie's moving. Amazing. Tessie got some speed now, 6.2, and I'm soaked. Love it. But while we're heading offshore here, why don't we take a look at my kind sponsor of this video with the catchy name Saily. Check it out.
I'm traveling abroad many times a year. The first thing I check for is a way to get back online using cellular connection on my cell phone. Before, I had to search for a store selling expensive data SIM cards to plug into my phone to get back online using cellular. It's fiddly and time-consuming. Most modern smartphone comes with a built-in eSIM, and with Saily it's all a breeze. With the Saily app I can now choose a plan and search for a preferred country, and I'm instantly connected at a cheaper price. Okay, so we are in Scotland now, and instead of spending a lot of time finding a store selling expensive SIM cards, I can just use my Saily app and find a suitable plan for Scotland. Download the Saily app, create your account, choose between 200 destinations, and you're ready to go.
Perfect entrance to England.
Get an exclusive 15% discount on Saily eSIM data plans. Download the Saily app and use code ERIK_ONDERÅ at checkout. Now, let's see what kind of trouble lies ahead in the North Sea.
Tessie's doing great. We're going straight on the goal of Lindisfarne now. But I don't think we should do it because of the strong winds coming tonight. Don't fall for the temptation, so I'm gonna head more westwards and then southwards. But I'm still soaking wet, so I need to get into the cabin and change some clothes, I think. Let's do that. Waves and winds are picking up, slamming over Tessie. She's doing good. Yeah, it's getting cold, so I started the Basto diesel heater. Every time I don't wear this, I think, the waves are not gonna catch me, and then smack, they do. Every time. For it to dry a little bit. We need to get Tiger on watch, but he's going up there, and it's a little sketchy to stand heeling out over the water like that. Just putting him on watch, but we'll see what we can do. I think Tiger is sitting tight there. You're not going up on the pole tonight. No worries.
At this point, 80 nautical miles off the coast, I started to have some second thoughts about the weather, as the sky got darker and wind only increasing.
Helicopter for the offshore rigs from Stavanger. I think that's S92 or something. So I'm downloading the latest weather report, so I'm excited to see what's to come. We're hitting 24 knots now with the true wind, and I think we're gonna hit 30 in the afternoon, evening. So that's the exciting part. You don't really know what you're getting yourself into. So I took a shot on this one, on this weather system, and so far so good. But let's see what's to come.
I let out some of the sail to take off some pressure as Tessie was getting overpowered by the wind.
25 knots. I think I'm gonna switch to hydrovane. The autopilot is struggling. So let's see if the hydrovane can steer. 'Hydrovane seemed to do his job. I tied off the wheel again with these pulleys, so I can adjust the course or the trim of the wheel. Whoa! 28 knots.
Now the wind had reached 30 knots, which was stated by the weather reports. Looking at the dark sky developing, with only increasing winds, I had a feeling something much bigger was coming my way. I had to do one last mandatory bow walk to get a cold spray, keeping me focused and alert.
Big one. Shit. Got me. I've been out watching the boat for a couple of hours now, just seeing that everything works. It's not that I don't trust the boat, but I just need to see in these conditions that everything holds up and is good. So I'm just watching the cameras and the chart plotter to watch for AIS signals and stuff, and course changes and wind shifts. And if needed, I'd bounce back up in the cockpit. There's a ship just in front of me now, 0.7 miles off. Check it out. And the wind is peaking 28 knots now, so I think I have to dress up again and go out and take the third deepest reef in the mainsail. It's just to get it done.
I now realized I most probably had a tough going ahead. This is the moment I had to focus on staying composed and try not to let the fear get the better of me.
We need to come off these waves a little bit. We're too close into them.
Pounding against the waves on this specific ancient Viking route made my thoughts wander off to the past.
I can only imagine how the Vikings did in their longships in this weather, crossing over to Lindisfarne. Whoa! That's something. That is something. Okay, let's reef the sail.
I released the mainsail to take out the powers. When crawling forward on deck in this kind of weather, I follow a certain climbing route, holding on to the same spots every time, like the winches and shrouds along the way. With Tessie not being too big, there is always something to hold on to, within an arm's length, compared to a big open-deck boat. I pull down the sail until the third and deepest reef reaches the reefing hook on the boom. The back line of the sail gets winched in tight to flatten the sail as much as possible. Once it's done, it's straight back to safety. We were now 32 nautical miles off the coast of Norway, with weather and waves continuously increasing towards stormy conditions. Now even the jib sail on the bow was too much canvas. It had to come down. As I don't have a top line to pull the sail down, there was no way it would slide down by itself. I had to go on the bow myself to secure it. I forgot to bring my sail ties to tie down the sail. Anyway, it would have been way too dangerous in such conditions on the bow.
That was quite a job.
I just had to leave the sail unsecured.
Let's head back and evaluate. Yeah, it's getting a bit crazier. 38 knots now, 34, 36. So I'll just keep heading westwards. I went from southwest to west, and we just have to wait it out and see what happens. The wind is supposed to turn late tonight, after midnight, so we can start heading southwards. Just have to play along with the weather here. It's getting a bit dangerous. Something happened with the hydrovane as well, so, but I think it's okay, it's just loose. It's peaking 40 knots here now. That was not reported. It said 27. Waves are picking up as well, so I've adjusted my course northwestwards with the waves and wind. And let this blow out, hopefully in some hours. Maybe I'll change my course back to Norway, but I'm not sure yet. It's not a good place to be near the coast if it's going to be a storm. It's safer out here.
The wind and ocean state seemed to only deteriorate. I had to choose between continuing offshore, not knowing how bad it was going to be, or to turn homewards, 40 nautical miles away. After a minute, it turned out to be an easy decision. To alter the course back to the coast, I had to jibe the mainsail, as the wind would come in on the other side of the boat. Tessie rapidly picked up speed and started surfing the following waves. The sheer pressure from the wind and waves even made a triple reefed mainsail overpowering Tessie. I decided to take it down. Lying somewhat still, wobbling around, I also took a chance to try to secure the staysail before the crashing waves started ripping it apart.
I managed to hoist a fleek of the foresail now, and we're doing 7 knots towards Utsira, just outside Haugesund. So it's about 29 nautical miles. So that's, I don't know, some hours. But the autopilot can steer now, so seems to be okay.
Conditions had now reached storm force, with winds gusting 50 knots. Intense rain showers felt like being hit by hail into my face and eyes. The waves came crashing in one after the other, over and over. Being engulfed by nature powers like this, with nowhere to run, feels both terrifying and mesmerizing. You have no other choice than to endure it. And to make sure to make the correct calls in order to survive.
Okay. That's That's a little storm. I've sent message to Silja telling her that I'm have turned back home, and it's 29 miles to Utsira, and that's about 4 hours. We are really plunging here. Everything seems good. Tessie is strong, and yeah, I'm just taking step by step here. This is the safest place to stay. Oh.
It's a phenomenal experience staying inside, listening to the wind and feel how the waves tosses Tessie around like a wine cork. Once in a while, I had to get out to see what was actually going on. It's a flabbergasting experience, being entrapped in the middle of the chaos of Mother Nature. Usually one should avoid this, but sailing across oceans as much as I do, there is a fair chance